No, we are. We're barely even making any more.
I don't think there's a person on the planet that hasn't talked about the shrinking of the celebration stub. But let's see this in real life. 2011 is the expiry on this box. 2022 is 2025 is the expiry on this box. Brother, look at this. It's a tiered cake. This is a celebrations wedding cake at this point in time. Are you taking the piss?
We'll have to put 40 grams less Ritz crackers in the box, and we'll have to accept making a little less profit for our shareholders this year. It's always, we've had to reduce the pack size of 6 slices of ham down to 5 and increase the price, and never we'll have to just accept that we're not making as much money anymore.
Welcome back to MOOMOO Rants, where the only thing shrinking faster than your shopping basket is the size of your products. Bags of crisps, your favorite chocolate bar, even loo rolls. Shrinkflation's everywhere. We're still paying the same price, or sometimes more, but getting less in return. And you know what? Companies are betting on the fact we won't notice. They'll spin it as just business. But let's call it what it is, a sneaky ripoff, quietly squeezing more cash from us while we're stuck in the middle of one of the harshest cost of living crises in years. And don't worry, TikTok's got plenty to say on it too. So, if you're tired of paying the same for less every time you pop to the shops, hit that subscribe button. Let's take a stand and expose the supermarket scam together.
London is becoming smaller. The other day I ordered a flat white, and the next day I ordered an espresso, and tell me why it came in the same cup. I opened a bag of crisps and get hit with turbulence like I was on an EasyJet. The cookie pack from Sainsbury's, the 4 cookies, it looked like they were on Ozempic. This is becoming ridiculous, guys, and I'm tired. I'm tired of paying more for less.
Let's see what the shrinkflation is like at Tesco. Dairy Dunkers for $1.75 looks good until you realize they only have 3 in the pack when they used to have 4. You get a lot of these £1 or 95p sweet bags, and you can see there's just barely anything in there compared to the original bags. This is a cheap pack of 6 McCoys, however each bag is only 25 grams. However, a regular sized bag of McCoys is 45 grams, almost double. These refrigerators are ridiculous. You get 5 in this bag, however each little packet is only 22.5 grams. There's barely anything in there. It's mainly air. You get like 5 bites. Remember crispy rolls? You can get a bar of this for 45p with a club card, or 55p otherwise. And then you get these Mars bars and these Snickers multi-packs, 4 of them. Each bar is only 39 grams, that's tiny. And then this has become the standard size for a quote-unquote big chocolate bar, 90 grams for $1.50.
Tesco's, you're on blast. Look at the size of this cookie, man. This is the size of a single one of my retinas. These cookies used to be the size of Jupiter. Cannot be legal. This is shrinkflation in action. Hide your kids, hide your wife. I'm about to riot. I demand a full refund of the £1.40 I spent on this 5-pack of cookies. Tesco, balls in your court.
Shrinkflation. Do you know what that is? No, it's not when I come out of a cold lake. It's when companies of all different industries, it could be health and wellness, food for example, become greedy. They take advantage of their devout customers loving their products by now manufacturing the same product with less actual product in the packaging, but still charging you more for it. They're hoping you don't notice because it helps their bottom line. The bottom line is people are struggling to get by these days. More and more people are finding it difficult to afford shelter and food. What companies have you noticed charging more but giving you less product? I want to know.
Since flipping when? Say you flipping swear. What do you mean £1 for a freckle? Nah, first I'm seeing guys are holding people hostage in Lewisham. Now I'm seeing this. That's how you know this country's good. Bro, back in the day, this thing was going for 17p. This was a nation's favorite. Where did it all go wrong? I'll be real, I should have known this country is good from when I started seeing shops selling this for £2 when it used to be £1, bro. And even from when I started seeing shops selling this for £1 when it used to be 59p. I remember them days very clearly. And even from when I started seeing gourmet premium meal deals for £5.50. What's the difference? Oh, the sandwich has a silver wrapper around it. And you'd think at least with all these price rises that at least we're getting more money, right? Wages have gone up, right? Well, did this. This was from 2008, right? Cool. When Freddos used to be 17p, when meal deals used to be around £3, maybe even less, but I hate. Look where we are! We're barely even making any more!
I don't think there's a person on the planet that hasn't talked about the shrinking of the celebration stub. But let's see this in real life. 2011 is the expiry on this box. 2022 is the expiry on this box. 2025 is the expiry on this box. Brother, look at this. It's a tiered cake. This is a celebrations wedding cake at this point in time. Are you taking the piss?
So people, let's talk about a little bit about shrinkflation. I just went to Tesco's and get these ones, one of my favorite snacks. And then I noticed something a bit different. We have new packaging. Yes, new one. It even says out here, with new paper tray. So we are saving the planet. And if we take a look at them, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. But if you remember the old packaging, and I bet you can buy it somewhere, they used to be 9. They used to be plastic packaging with 3 separate departments on each of them. There were 3 of them. And if you look back of the box, so yeah, back of the box, it says right here, 8 biscuits. Same price, 8 biscuits. New packaging.
It's always, we'll have to put 40 grams less Ritz crackers in the box, and not, we'll have to accept making a little less profit for our shareholders this year. It's always, we've had to reduce the pack size of 6 slices of ham down to 5 and increase the price, and never, we'll have to just accept that we're not making as much money anymore. Because the only thing that matters in the UK is if the big corporations get their profits, ever increasing profits year after year, because the shareholders are the most important people in the world, not the people that actually have to buy or eat the products or drink the water. On the subject of water, not a lot of people actually understand what has happened with our water system. What happened was Margaret Thatcher and her cronies sold it off to private capital at much less than it was actually worth. The people that had the capital got rich overnight. Generational wealth was created overnight when they bought the water companies. And then what they did, they weren't happy with just buying them. They then leveraged our water companies up to their eyeballs in debt, hundreds of millions of pounds worth of debt borrowed against the business, and then structured their business in such a way that they could dividend out most of that to the shareholders. They extracted all of the value that was in those businesses and left the customers paying the debt. Similar story with Royal Mail. I remember they got hedge fund managers in to help the government value Royal Mail, and then gave those hedge fund managers priority access to buy shares in the business before they were released to the general public, to retail investors. And of course, they valued it at about half, about £3 or something. It shot up to 6 or 7 overnight. The hedge funds and private capital doubled their money overnight, fortunes made overnight. And of course, they structured the deal whereas the taxpayer would continue to fund the loss-making part of Royal Mail, and the institutional investors and private capital got to buy the profitable part. Fast forward a few years, and the people that own Royal Mail are now saying, oh, look, it's not really sustainable for us to keep this level of service. You know, we might have to stop collecting on certain days or stop delivering on certain days. We might have to reduce the level of service we can offer. The whole neoliberal Tory experiment has gutted the UK and left us in debt with a worse quality of life, suffering the effect of worse services at the mercy of corporations that only care about profits.
If you thought your shopping bags were feeling a little lighter, could be because more and more products are getting smaller. Mouthwash, tea bags and sausages are among the supermarket staples that have been downsized thanks to so-called shrinkflation. The manufacturers look to cut costs.
Oh, God. So they make millions in profits, but they still need to cut costs. and rip us off and just get away with it like nothing's happened. So basically, shrinkflation means your products get made smaller, but they charge more. So no, they're not reducing the costs, they're making them smaller and they're going to charge you more. So for example, this bunch of bananas, say it costs 50p, they'll take 2 bananas out of it and charge you 70p. More and more companies and more products are going to get onto this because they're thinking, it's not a bad idea that. Just another little thing to rip us off, to take more money off us, to piss us off. It's like council tax. Council tax this year has risen again to the maximum it can. But guess what? You're getting reduced services. So you're paying more for less. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I don't know how long this can carry on before people start fucking retaliating and causing havoc, because at the day, I cannot wait for it to happen, because I'll be there at the fucking front. We need to do something, people. Go and sign that petition, what I've put up today about fucking general election. Madness.
Poundland, why are you advertising a 20 pack of plastic cups when there's like 17 in them? I counted. And then I tried to go to the next one, there's 18 in them. Didn't count anymore because they all look the same height. Why are you advertising a 20 pack when there's 17 or 18? It's really not that hard to put 2 more in, or just advertise as an 18 pack. But that's really false advertising, and like, I don't really have a choice, I have to buy it. But like, it's very frustrating that regardless, we're gonna buy it, just be honest and put 18 pack on it.